Hello, today's project is the eyewear and phone pouch. I'll show you how to make this. I'm Mary Mulari, and this, I'd like to say at the beginning, is a fun, easy, and useful item to make. Let's look at some examples. Here on the table, you'll see the eyewear version of this project with my sunglasses enclosed and 2 pockets front and back to carry extra things. You can also make, with the same set of instructions and just using more of the felt, a phone carrier, a phone pouch, and both of these are easy to make. So let's go through the steps, and I'll show you what's in the kit that you'll find for this project. It's going to be in a bag like this with the instructions and an extra bag of items beneath. And to show you, along with the 2 pieces of felt, you're going to get a spool of thread, a 54-inch length of cord, a small sewing kit with a hand sewing needle, a button, and then 8 paper clips. Now I have to say paper clips aren't the most usual sewing notion, but they work really well with felt. In addition, this time I'd like to suggest that there might be some other products and notions that you have access to you could use, but you don't have to have these. These are straight pins, 2 different holders, pinking shears, and a very small pointed pair of scissors to cut the buttonhole when we get to that part of the project. So we'll set these pieces aside and then talk also about the 3 pieces that you do need to have for sure. You need a pencil, a pair of scissors, and a ruler to complete the project. So we'll start by looking at the pattern that also comes with the kit. This is what you'll have. You'll see a lot of lines, some writing on this, and you need to pay attention to all of the directions that are given right on the pattern. But you're going to first of all cut it out, and here is what it'll look like. This is the shape, kind of odd looking. And then I'm going to focus today on making the eyewear pouch. So I'm going to use this as a center line guide, and then I'm going to fold back this edge so that the width of this is my eyewear pouch. My next sample shows you how I've done this and folded in half this way. Here are an example of the 2 pieces of felt that you'll get in your kit. One is generally going to be lighter in color than the other. And to show you what you'll do is to layer these together. And then I've traced with my pattern the shape for the eyewear case. So the first step will be to trace with the pencil. You try to trace lightly, not too dark so that the lines are really bold, but you want to be able to see these lines. So here is the next step. You can see the paper clips at work, and I've used black thread to stitch up the center line and also around the top edge of my eyewear pouch. So to continue with this, the next sample will show that I've cut out the piece of the eyewear pouch from the felt. I've added some more paper clips on this side, and you can see that this is folded in half, and this will make the pouch. My next sample will show how we get the pockets for this project. Here also I have used the pinking shears to cut this outer edge. Adds kind of a nice extra little touch to the project if you like to add that. But you'll see how I have cut this from the larger piece of felt, which is 9 by 12, and I have all of this space on 2 pieces of felt to make pockets. So I've cut pockets. You can do these any way that you like, and I'm going to place these on on the front of the eyewear pouch. This side will actually be the front, the side you see first, and I keep my pockets away from the edges on both sides, and the next step will be to sew the pockets to the pouch. Here's the next sample. On this pocket, I chose to make a pencil or a pen pocket just for fun, to have that handy to use with my pouch. And this pocket is now ready to be sewn in place. When you sew pockets, you want to sew back and forth here at the top ends so that it's very secure, so when you put items in and out of the pockets, the sewing doesn't give way. And then the next sample, we have 2 other pockets sewn in place. I like to show you the variety. You can shape these any way you like. You just make sure that you keep them away from these outer edges. So then we're going to fold this in half, actually, right, just like this. And we'll take out paper clips again, and we'll secure these 4 layers of felt together. This is kind of a thicker seam, so you're going to be careful. You never sew over the paper clips. You always get them out of the way first. And my next sample shows that I've done my sewing around the edges, this side and across the bottom. This edge I've already trimmed with my pinking shears, and I can go ahead to clip this edge too. Anytime you're cutting with felt, you need to, I think, cut slowly and carefully. And you kind of make a mess here with this pinking shears, but there is that finished bottom edge. We turn next to the top, to the flap. And I have a button in here, like the one that you'll get in your kit. I'm going to place this on the top of the flap where I want it to be. I'm going to reach for my pencil and put 2 dots, one on each side of the button. And that's going to tell me how wide my buttonhole will be. So I'd use my pencil and my ruler and draw that. And then I've already cut this one. So that's my buttonhole. It's pretty easy. And then through the center, what I'm going to do is through the middle of that buttonhole, I'm going to place a mark here through, and that's going to tell me where to sew the button. The kit will have the hand sewing needle and thread, and I would secure the button first of all, or the thread actually, with a couple of stitches so that the knot is really secure. And then I'd go ahead to sew through the 2 holes back and forth several times and make sure that this is nice and secure. We'll move on at this point because you're going to do this, and then of course make a knot and cut the ends of the thread. And now you have an eyewear case. Let's look at a couple other examples. This one I sewed totally by hand, so that's another option for you. It works just fine, and you might like that choice of sewing by hand. Another sample here is another phone pouch, and you'll see how much wider this is in comparison. I've added another pocket on the back side, and the other piece to add to this, if you like a bag that you wear across the body, this is stitched in place, and you sew back and forth on this side and then the other end on this side, and you can adjust the length of the cord that you get with your kit. And this is such a great item to give to a friend who lives alone, likes to have her phone with her at all times, and she can wear her phone if she uses this phone pouch. Another sample here is this eyewear case. I hope you'll enjoy making this project. It's fun, easy, and useful. And then, if you like to work with felt, go ahead to check my website for a pattern of projects to continue your enjoying adventures with felt.